1. The exhibit that wasn't there. Just make your rounds, don't touch anything, and don't stare too long. That's what Marcus had been told when he started the graveyard shift at the Griffith Modern Art Museum. The job was simple. Walk the halls every hour, check the cameras, and sign a sheet that no one ever seemed to read. It was quiet work, which he liked, until the Portraits of the Mind exhibit arrived. No announcement, no press release. One night, the gallery on the second floor was empty. The next, 7 massive portraits hung on the walls. No plaques, no labels. Just a small typed card at the entrance. Anonymous donor. Do not photograph. The first time Marcus walked past them, he didn't think much. Strange art. A woman with no eyes. A man with a second mouth on his cheek. Another figure whose face was completely blank, just smooth, pale skin. Weird, but not the weirdest thing he'd seen. By the third night, something felt off. He could swear the eyeless woman had turned her head slightly. He chalked it up to lighting. The next night, the blank-faced figure had a faint outline of eyes, just shadowy dents, almost like they were starting to form. Marcus stood there too long, just staring. By the end of the week, the 7th painting looked exactly like him, not close, not a maybe. It was him. Same hoodie, same tired posture, same security badge clipped to the collar. And worst of all, in the painting, his eyes were closed. Marcus ran downstairs to check the security feed, but at 2:13 a.m. there was a glitch, a blank screen for 12 seconds. When it returned, he was sitting in the chair as usual, but the real Marcus hadn't come back yet. That night, the museum doors unlocked themselves at 3 a.m. No one entered, no one left. The wind didn't even blow. Morning came. The next shift arrived. No one ever found Marcus. A new plaque appeared under the 7th painting, untitled, Oil on Canvas, anonymous. Now the figure's eyes are wide open, and if you stare long enough, the mouth begins to move. Story number 2. The artifact that whispers. Lena didn't believe in curses. She believed in cataloging. As a graduate student interning at the Thorn Antiquities Museum, her job was to sort through the endless backlog of artifacts donated, forgotten, or deemed non-essential. Most of it was junk, rusted tools, pottery shards, yellowed maps with coffee stains. But then she found crate number 2209. It was shoved in a far corner of the archive's basement, covered in dust, no entry in the digital inventory. No label, just a handwritten tag. Hold, not for display. Inside was a small black statue, about a foot tall, carved from stone so dark it absorbed light. It looked humanoid, mostly. The face was the worst part. It had no mouth but too many eyes, at least 10 of them scattered unevenly across its face and shoulders. Lena felt sick the moment she touched it. A deep chill ran up her spine like something ancient had just noticed her. Still, she logged it, cataloged it, tagged it as unverified Mesopotamian replica. She didn't believe in curses. That night she heard whispers, not outside, not in the walls. Inside her head, soft, unintelligible murmurs, voices layered over each other like a broken chorus. She chalked it up to sleep deprivation. The next night she dreamed of rooms that didn't exist, endless stone corridors, walls made of bone, the black statue waiting at the center of it all. Its eyes slowly opening. By the third night, Lena started visiting the artifact after hours. She would just sit with it for hours, listening. I think it wants to be seen, she whispered to her own reflection one night. It told me that. 2 days later, Lena stopped showing up to work. Her apartment was empty, no sign of struggle. Her badge, phone, and laptop were left behind. But in the archive's basement, someone found a second crate, sitting next to the one that had held the statue. No paperwork, no markings. Inside was a new sculpture, slightly taller, same black stone, same texture, but this one looked like her. Still, the face was wrong. Eyes too wide, skin too smooth, and a faint smile where no mouth should be. They locked the crate away, moved it to the deepest vault. But late at night, the janitor swears he hears Lena's voice behind the sealed concrete wall, and sometimes she whispers your name. Story number 3. Closing time. The Lindenhall Museum of History had a reputation among staff. Never stay past 2 a.m. It wasn't written in the employee manual. No rule on the books, but every night worker, from janitors to curators, followed it like gospel. When Kara started her overnight cleaning job, no one gave her much of a reason why. Just vague warnings. Make sure you're clocked out by 1:55. If you hear anything in the West Wing, don't check it. Don't look at the clocks. She thought it was hazing. The museum was beautiful in the daytime. At night, it felt trapped in a different century. No matter how many lights she turned on, the corners stayed dim. The air always smelled faintly of candle smoke and dust, even in the brand new modern wings. But she followed the rules until the night she forgot her phone. It was 2:11 a.m. when she re-entered the museum. The doors hadn't locked behind her. Strange, but she figured security had missed a sweep. The building was too quiet. Even the faint hum of lights was gone. When she walked past the clockmaker's hall, she noticed something odd. All 12 clocks, grandfather, cuckoo, sundial replicas, were ticking in perfect sync. Then they all stopped. 2:17 a.m. exactly. Then they ticked backward. Suddenly the walls felt unfamiliar. She passed exhibits that shouldn't exist. A room full of mannequins in 1930s clothing staring through dusty glass. A gallery labeled Hall of Forgotten Staff, filled with black and white portraits of people she didn't recognize. In the west corridor, she passed a mirror, but her reflection didn't follow her movements. It just stood there, smiling faintly. Kara ran, but the doors were gone, replaced with solid stone. In their place was a new plaque, new acquisition. Gallery 3B The Cleaner, 2025, medium, time loop entrapment, spectral imprint, fabric uniform, donated anonymously. She screamed, but no one heard. By morning, everything was back to normal. No sign of disturbance. Her name disappeared from the schedule. Her locker was empty, but a new hallway had been added to the map, a wing that hadn't existed the day before. Visitors pass a figure behind glass in that new wing now, a museum exhibit that looks almost too real. A woman in a janitor's uniform mid-step, her hand reaching for a mop. Sometimes, if you visit just before closing, her eyes follow you, and all the clocks stop at 2:17. Thanks for watching C&T Horror Stories. Please like and subscribe for more.